Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, another deadly shooting on a university campus.
The shootings occurred on a bus full of students returning from a field trip. 3 of the victims did not survive.
The suspect with connection to the school's football team in custody tonight.
And to deliver or not to deliver, that's the question for some Connecticut hospitals. Parents-to-be fighting to keep their maternity wards open.
Plus, concerns over location tracking online.
What I would say to people watching is be very careful. You're being tracked. It is not an exaggeration to say that we live in a surveillance economy.
The historic settlement just reached requiring Google to be more transparent.
And protecting marriage equality.
Why do we need to fight this over again? We shouldn't need to fight it over. The argument's the same. Nothing's changed.
What's being done right here in Connecticut to codify same-sex and interracial marriage protections?
Plus, giving people with disabilities a chance to shine.
We're letting them be a part of a team for one day, something that a lot of them never had a chance to do.
How the Beautiful Lives Project is bringing inclusion into the sports world. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We could see the first snowflakes of the season this week.
Already. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with a look at where and when we could see those flakes coming. Hi, Rach. We got you, Rich. Turn that mic on. Here we go. Oh, maybe.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's blinking. It's
blinking. It might take a second, Rachel.
Maybe we'll go to Rachel in just a second.
Still can't hear her?
All right, we can't.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll come back to you in a moment.
She could talk loud, but not to hear you all the way at home. We'll get to Rachel soon. All right, happening now. A vigil underway in an effort to reopen Wyndham Hospital's shuttered maternity ward.
Yeah, this while in the opposite corner of the state, another rural community is fighting the exact same battle at Sharon Hospital. Fox 61's Matt Caron has a look at this crisis of care and what it means for the moms and their babies across Connecticut.
Well, it means that young women are going to have to think long and hard about where they want to work and live, because if Sharon Hospital closes their maternity wing, the next nearest labor and delivery center is 40 minutes away, and that doesn't include the time it takes for an ambulance to get to you.
We will have to intervene.
State Senator Saud Anwar, who's also a physician, told Fox 61 the state will have to take a hard look at what can be done to protect maternal health in Connecticut.
This is truly life-threatening for children and women.
Sharon Hospital, owned by New Vance Health, told Fox 61 their decision to shut down labor and delivery was a financial one, going on to say their birthing center, quote, has seen less than 1 birth per day on average over the past 10 years, often going several days at a time without a delivery.
It would be catastrophic. It would be dangerous. It would change this area into what is now called a healthcare desert.
Dr. Howard Morton has been delivering babies at Sharon Hospital for 20 years and told Fox 61 he's speaking out against his employer to save his community.
I think the primary goal of a lot of these companies owning these hospitals is money. It's not people. It's not safety. It's not patients. It's not care. It's not love. It's about money.
The Save Sharon Hospital movement has been the subject of community rallies, backed by state and federal politicians. The leader of their movement is a mom who had her 2 kids at Sharon Hospital.
For me personally, I'm an hour from Danbury and I'm 45 minutes from Charlotte Hungerford. And to me, that is not a safe amount of time for me to travel to another hospital if I or to have another baby.
Across Connecticut, 4 hospitals have either recently shuttered or in the process of closing their labor and delivery units. Across the country, a recent study found that 54% of rural communities had no access to labor or delivery services. As for Sharon Hospital, a public hearing is set for December 6th. Reporting in Sharon, Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
Matt, thank you. New tonight, Congress heads back into session with some midterm election results still up in the air.
Lawmakers now looking to accomplish as much as possible before the end of the year, and one of those priorities for Connecticut senators, marriage equality.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Woolforth joining us now in studio to explain. Emma?
Ben, Jen, after a blue victory in Nevada this weekend, Democrats will retain their control of the Senate, easing a bit of pressure for this lame duck session. The party, though, still trying to get their agenda in order. But as Connecticut's U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal explained today, he's trying to make marriage equality top of that list.
Your right to marry the person you love ought to be a priority in the remaining days of this session.
Monday, Blumenthal pushing for the Senate to vote on the Respect for Marriage Act. The bill passed by the House in July would codify same-sex and interracial marriage protections into federal law. Currently, both only protected through Supreme Court rulings, something advocates say is at risk with the overturning of Roe versus Wade.
I was petrified. I mean, I was, and still am, scared that rights can be given and then taken away.
Kerrigan played a key role in the legalization of same-sex marriage in Connecticut. She and her wife, the lead plaintiffs in the Supreme Court case against the state to grant them a marriage license. The case made Connecticut the third state in the nation to legalize same-sex marriage.
I think because we're in Connecticut, we feel safer.
This is scary times. For us, for our family, for the whole nation.
Despite retaining a majority in the Senate, Democrats facing an uncertain future in the House as control is still undecided. But the party avoided a Republican blowout Monday, Blumenthal crediting campaign points like abortion and marriage equality.
The red wave is still at sea. It never came ashore because Americans rejected the efforts to roll back rights.
Now, Blumenthal is calling for a vote on this bill before the end of the year. I asked him today what the timeline could look like. He told me they're just a few votes away from the 60 needed and says post-election he believes passage is more than possible. Ben.
All right, Emma, thank you. Moving on here, we're following breaking news out of Virginia tonight. Police have arrested a University of Virginia student who allegedly shot and killed 3 members of the school's football team.
Fox 61's Sarah Sanchez joins us in the Breaking News Center with an update for us. Sarah.
Well, Ben and Jen, police say 22-year-old Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. allegedly shot the players as they returned to campus from a field trip. And new tonight, we're just learning Jones was previously on the football team. The shooting set off an intense manhunt with authorities conducting a building-by-building search of the campus while students had to shelter in place. This took hours. The lockdown was lifted this morning after Jones was taken into custody without incident.
We just received information the suspect is in custody. We've charged him with 3 counts of second-degree murder, and we charged him with 3 counts of using a handgun in the commission of a felony.
Jones came to the attention of the university's threat assessment team this fall after a person unaffiliated with the school reported a remark Jones apparently made about possessing a gun. Officials looked into it and found no threat. He also was involved in a hazing investigation of some sort, we're told, in another incident involving a weapons violation. That incident had not been reported to the university. The 3 students killed have been identified as Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. 2 other students were also injured. Ben, Jen, back to you.
Sarah, thank you. Want to get to new video into the newsroom tonight out of Bridgeport. Police releasing this video showing a catalytic converter being stolen from a U-Haul overnight. Happened at the U-Haul facility on Boston Avenue. You see 3 suspects flee in a car that's believed to be a gray Nissan Rogue. Anyone with any information on the theft should call police.
And new tonight, a person is dead in Avon after a car hit a pedestrian. Police say it happened on East Main Street around 6 a.m. They say the pedestrian was trying to cross the street when they were struck. The driver did stay on the scene and, we're told, assisted with life-saving measures and is cooperating with the investigation. Police have not yet released the identity of that victim. And over in Killingly, a motorcyclist was killed in a crash over the weekend. Police say a car was stopped at a red light on Route 6 at the intersection with Cucumber Hill Road when a motorcycle struck the back of that car. The driver of the motorcycle was taken to the hospital and later died. The other driver was not injured. Police are still investigating. 2
shootings under investigation in Hartford tonight. Police say a victim with a gunshot wound arrived at St. Francis Hospital this morning. They say that he was shot in the area of Westbourne Parkway and Ridgefield Street. No word on what led up to the incident or any suspects. And overnight, police say a man in his 30s was taken to a hospital after a shooting on Newfield Street. Police say he suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Both of these shootings remain under investigation tonight.
A shooting also under investigation in New Haven. Police say a man was shot on Saturday outside of the Yale Bowl liquor store on Derby Avenue during an apparent robbery. The victim has been identified as a 53-year-old Wallingford man, and he was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. He's listed in stable condition. Police are now reviewing surveillance footage as they continue to investigate. And in Newington, a robbery at a 7-Eleven convenience store is under investigation as well. Police say the store on New Britain Avenue was robbed last night. Officers say 2 men dressed in black and wearing ski masks walked into that store and demanded money from the cashier. The suspects then got away with an undetermined amount of money. Anyone with information or who may have surveillance video is asked to contact police.